The Emerging Leaders Medal is given to a notable federal employee who's still at the beginning of their career in public service. So they still have many years ahead of them to finish fixing the entire world. This year's winner is Dr. Vikram Krishnasamy.
My name is Vikram Krishnasamy. I am a physician and an epidemiologist at the Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta, where I work on drug overdose and strategies for addressing the drug overdose crisis.
This will come as a shock to anyone who has been living under a rock or inside of a well. The drug crisis in America is very complicated. In fact, opioid overdoses resulted in an average of 128 deaths a day in the US and some 400,000 deaths since 1999.
One of the most difficult medical public health challenges we have right now is drug use disorder. It's a chronic relapsing medical condition, though, that has an important interface between law enforcement, public health, and medicine.
One of the challenges for these kinds of crises is that anytime there are new public health programs set up anywhere is how do we pull together the materials in a way that everyone can understand them. And so what we did was put together a curriculum that spanned 12 to 16 hours, made it easily digestible with questions so that our local and state health departments, law enforcement agencies could sit down and say, okay, now we really understand the background of the opioid overdose epidemic.
That while we were interested in taking down the bad actors, we also had to be concerned about the fact that there were going to be unintended consequences. The fact that when you close down a pill mill, that there are going to be patients who still desperately need the medication. The logical thing to do was to liaison with public health officials. And the way we did that was to partner with the CDC. Dr. Vikram Krishnasamy provided that opportunity to be a touch point, a liaison that we could work with at the federal level and who could then share information with trusted partners at the state level.
Basically, imagine a 6th grade dance. On one side of the gym, there's all the federal law enforcement folks, and on the other side are all the public health officials. Everyone's being all shy, scared to dance. It should be working, but it's just not. Dr. Krishnasamy is the guy who gets everyone out on that dance floor together, dancing, talking, and prescribing responsibly.
Yeah, what we would try to do is first make an introductory call and ensure that, let's say, a state health department. And then what we would then do is ensure that they had the right contacts and were in communication with federal agents, and then establish that relationship so that they all feel comfortable talking to each other in the future, especially as some of these critical actions do happen.
This new approach has resulted in more patients getting the help they need and fewer of them falling through the cracks. When there's a crackdown, medical providers are ready to help, and patients can easily find them.
Vikram is just a real superstar. He's quiet, he's humble, but he's a real leader. Since he did the work on the opioid rapid response teams training and on the establishing the trusted contacts with law enforcement and public health, he's already deployed several times as part of the COVID pandemic response, and he keeps his positive attitude, his energy, and his intellect all together. So he's a real joy to work with.
All that, and he still manages to see patients at a free clinic in Atlanta on Sundays. You know what I do on Sundays? Well, last Sunday I ate an entire pizza by myself, and that felt like an accomplishment. What I'm saying is Dr. Krishnasamy is in a league all to himself.
The opioid crisis is cutting so many promising lives short. It's heartbreaking. To meet the challenge, we need innovative leaders like Dr. Krishnasamy. So thank you, doctor, for all your life-saving work.
I am the kid of immigrants. My parents came from India, and I am incredibly lucky. I've got opportunities that many people don't get. And for me, public service is all about giving other folks the opportunities that I got. And I have a lot of skin in this game, but what I really want to see is folks do well and that our patients are taken care of.
Dr. Vikram Krishnasamy has already changed the world through public service, and he's just getting started. I am very, very proud to present him with the Emerging Leaders Medal.
I'm grateful for this award. It's not something I ever anticipated. I'm generally somebody that shies away from any attention. And so I want to say it's just a general thank you and a huge thank you to all of my colleagues at CDC along the way. And I'm hopeful that we can continue to do the work that we are doing and have a positive impact.